Well, my depression has finally subsided after that heartbreaking, gut-wrenching loss to the Philadelphia Eagles in Week 3. A game where the Rams defense just looked like world beaters. They looked like the best in the NFL for a large part of that game. They had the offensive line spinning in circles, hitting Jalen Hurts, decleating him on multiple sacks. Above all else, there was one player on that defense that stood out to me the most. We're going to be looking at his plays in depth in today's ALL-22 that we do every single Tuesday here on the First and Tuna podcast. But first, here's the sound of the game.
Go 3 yards on that first play. Hurts gets pounded. The ball is out, and the Rams will fight for it at the bottom. Nate Landman, it looks like, has it. Landman recovers the fumble after a thunderous hit.
Hello, Ramley. I am Tuna. This is the First and Tuna podcast where we report on all things Los Angeles Rams, as well as, breaking news across the NFL and things like that. Every Tuesday, we break down ALL-22 film. Not the entire game. There's always a focus. Today's focus is Quentin Lake. Quentin Lake had a phenomenal game. He leads the NFL in pass breakups, 4 of those coming in this game. He also had a quarterback pressure. He's involved in the blitz packages that is very successful for Chris Shula's defense, but I want to focus on him. We're also going to be looking at the red zone offense and what's going on with that, because that is becoming a question online from fans. Will McVay stop getting cute in the red zone? So we're going to look at what happened in Week 3. But before we jump into the film, if you don't want to hear the housekeeping and the general observations that I have from the game, timestamps are always below. Jump ahead to that mark. Get started on the film if you don't care to hear me yap. But first and foremost, I want to give a thanks to Action Engraving. They are responsible for our first logo, our sign that's behind my head in every episode. If you need your custom swag, those changed, that you want to show off at the tailgate, head over to Action Engraving on Instagram. Order from them. They are phenomenal. And new supporter of the channel, at Victory Vault on Instagram. They're brand new on the custom t-shirt Rams scene. I like their designs. Really cool. They reached out to me, showing off some new stuff like, hey, the store is open now. Head over to at Victory Vault on Instagram. They've got 4 really cool designs right now with more to come. I've got one that's going to be shipping to me very soon. I'm excited to show it off to you. And jump on the bandwagon. No one has these yet because they're new. So you could be very special. Thank you to those guys for supporting the channel. And thank you for subscribing and liking. I love every single one of you. Okay, enough yapping. What the hell happened in that game? First and foremost, on the PAT, emphasis has to be on the left guard. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis did a phenomenal job. It's not Joshua Karty's fault. Seeing a lot of Twitter quarterbacks, Twitter coaches blame Karty, saying how, he was going to miss it anyways. It was leaning left. Like, that is the most non-football knowing take I've heard in a while. Blaming someone for something that may have happened rather than what was the cause for the actual block is a take. That's a take for sure. I don't understand really what happened to left guard on that play. Both Dotson, both Limmer really struggled. Maybe the Eagles cracked a code. Maybe the Eagles figured something out. I hope they block more field goals through the rest of the season, so that way I feel a little bit better about the Rams operation there. This really could just be a 1 in a million thing that Coach Sirianni and his special teams coordinator figured out. Maybe it's not even a Rams weakness. I know Kevin Dotson was nursing an injury. He was able to gut through the rest of that game. Bo Limmer had an awful day statistically in the pass blocking game, and obviously in the PAT game at the end there too. I don't really know what to say about that. I'm anyone who's pretending to be a field goal expert until an offensive lineman who's played in the game or who plays in the game or a coach speaks on this. It's just chatter. No one knows, like, hey, was it just technique? Did he not take the right step? Did they just not get low enough? Are they really just that strong? Don't really know. Right now, it's just all conjecture on Twitter. So we're just going to move on from that. Takes away from a phenomenal game that Joshua Karty had. And that's my first observation is Joshua Karty, elite day. I don't care about the 2 blocks. Those aren't on him. I don't care if you say trajectory was low, trajectory was left. Those are blocked. Kicker can't be responsible for blocked kicks unless he literally kicks it into the back of a lineman's head. He was 4 for 4 heading into the fourth quarter. Kicks were strong, looked good. His kickoffs are elite. He may be the best kickoff specialist in the league right now. And it's funny that we're talking about kicker as my first observation, but even Wyatt Miller, writer for the Rams, pointed this out as well. Wyatt did a really good job putting this chart together. It is the average opponent field position after kickoffs through 3 weeks. That is pre-Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football here. Rams average starting position given to opponents is about the 21.5 yard line. The next closest is the Panthers at the 25 yard line. Average is roughly like around the 30 yard line. This is really significant. With the kickoff rule changes, having a touchback go out to the 35 is brutal. You're two first downs away from potentially being in field goal range for a lot of teams based on their kicker. The Rams having teams start at the pre-kickoff change starting mark for touchbacks, almost the 20, is great. And if you were watching the game, you were paying attention to kickoff. Joshua Karty's been implementing a knuckleball, having the ball land right in the landing zone a few yards ahead of the returners. And that knuckleball, like, you don't know where it's bouncing. I think at one point they tackled him at a 10 in week 3. It was phenomenal. Put those two together, like he was on track to be special teams player of the week. Really let down by the operation of the extra PAT or field goal, and that was really tough. My second observation is the run defense. It can keep the Rams in any game. It doesn't matter who it is. This game was really the litmus test. They really just stopped Saquon Barkley the entire day. My next observation is that the secondary is a work in progress. This was something that we kind of knew coming into the season since they didn't go out and sign someone, they didn't go out and trade someone. Those conversations are getting a lot louder. Like, hey, go save Sauce Gardner from New York. Go do this, go do that. Got to be a little bit patient. It's week 3. You played a very, very good team with an underrated elite level wide receiver in A.J. Brown. Devontae Smith didn't have a big game. His touchdown came on just really good leverage. Unfortunately, that was a poor job on Emmanuel Forbes on that touchdown, taking the wrong opening and allowing just the outside for Devontae Smith just to be open. He also had some really good plays, though. He had a pass breakup on A.J. Brown that was like textbook. Quentin Lake looked like the best player on the field for spurts at a time in that secondary. The safety group is strong. It's the cornerback's position that is worrying a lot of fans. We're going to have to be a little bit patient. I know you want them to go trade for someone. This is not copium, but you have to recognize that is also a very good NFL team. A.J. Brown is just big as hell and strong as hell. Eventually, in the second half, they figured out, all right, we can't run it. Just get the ball to A.J. Brown. Let him just try to break some tackles and gain momentum. Momentum was gained, and that happens. They're going to have to adjust to it. They're going to have to progress. I think if we hit like week 6 and the secondary just continues to decline and be a sore spot, let's look at the conversation of going to sign somebody. But until then, we got to be a little bit patient with these guys. Next observation is Kyren and Blake. That duo was really good. All day, they were chunking away at the Eagles' defense. I really wish they stuck with it a little bit more. Both of them had a long run of 12 and 13 yards. Average per carry was a little over 4 yards. Like, they were just really good. I wish they stuck with it, like I said. But I don't want to hear conversations about, oh, he's better. It's a great duo. We're lucky to have these guys. Keep running the damn ball, McVay. Keep running the ball. And last but not least, Stafford climbs to number 9 all-time in career passing touchdowns. That is historic. I told you at the start of the season, enjoy these little moments. Despite the fact he had some rusty mistakes, he missed some really open wide receivers, left points on the board. We all know Stafford. He's going to come back. He's going to fire back. He may throw 4 touchdowns next game just to prove a point. But, hey, history was made. He did pass Matt Ryan for 9th all-time in history. Congratulations to Matthew. Hell of a career, and he's only going to keep climbing. He has 36 touchdowns behind Ben Roethlisberger. I don't think he'll reach that, but he'll get really, really close. All right. That's it. We're at like the 11-ish minute mark, a little bit longer than I wanted to go, but let's jump into the film. Like I said, we're going to be looking at Quentin Lake. Let's go. All right, starting off the Quentin Lake tape session. This is a team tackle that he does with Jared Verse, stopping Saquon Barkley at the line. We'll break it down here in a second. With this film, we're going to be mixing in just some of the defensive big plays as well, seeing how Quentin Lake fits into that scheme that happened on these big plays, and just because they're fun to look at. This one is very, very basic. It doesn't look large, but it plays into the larger impact of the game because Jalen Hurts did hurt the Rams on 2 specific quarterback keeps. He's very mobile. So Quentin Lake right here, we'll square it off. He's got he's coming on a blitz as well. He's responsible for contain because Jared Verse is crashing harder, hopping with the tackle. The run inside is meshed with a quarterback read. Jalen Hurts is going to have his eyes right here to see, hey, maybe I can pull the ball. And even if it's not designed for him to be a true read, he's paying attention to it for down the road. Like, hey, when they blitz this way, do they crash? What happens? Let's see what Quentin Lake does. Sees the motion. At this point, Jalen Hurts knows it's probably a man. It didn't look like Quentin Lake moved at all. So depending on how he views Quentin Lake as a defender, he probably understands there's a blitz coming. What Quentin Lake does here is nicely done. He's watching Jalen Hurts. He's not falling for the threat of Saquon Barkley because he knows, hey, I've got a guy crashing on the inside in Jared Verse. So one more time. Steady, steady. Even after Saquon clearly has the ball, Quentin Lake is in position to go ahead and make a tackle on Hurts if he had the ball. Jumps over the fallen blocker, gets in to make sure, hey, this guy really is tackled for a loss. Let's look at the end zone cam real quick. Remember, Quentin Lake is on your right side right here. Motion across. Yeah, very good. Just sitting home. Sit at home. Do your job. So Jalen Hurts wanted to run this. He's right here to at least attempt to make a tackle. Jumps over the guy. And that's all you want. The Rams did a really good job, and Quentin Lake does a really good job of this all season of getting into the mix inside the box. That's why he's that hybrid safety DB. Really, really good in run support. This was a play or two before they got their first touchdown. This is the first quarter, 8-16. They're at the 2. You're getting a play action. Quentin Lake is matched up on A.J. Brown in the end zone. He plays good defense. The ball is high. They call a flag, pass interference on Lake. I will argue that this is just this is that gray area between what is pass interference and what is just really good coverage. I think this was really good coverage. I don't believe that when you watch this, and I'm going to slow it down for you guys, you'll see his hand on the backside, the right hip of A.J. Brown, which is normal. You get that in the league. So here we go. Slows it up. Takes away the inside. It was very quick if you missed it. But right here, watch Lake's right arm on A.J. Brown's right arm. It's on the backside. Does he hold it a little bit? Yeah. Does it impede the catch? No. The ball was too high. And also, he let go of it. He didn't pull it. He released the arm. He disengaged, which is textbook. Hey, have your arm backside until the last possible second. And then when the ball's in the air or you're getting ready to contest, don't pull on the arm. Don't pull on the hip. Just let go of it because that's how you do get flagged. Here we are. Hey, look, I paused it just in time. Down here at the bottom. He's got his arm on his right arm. Standard. Happens every play. That's how you're taught to play the pass in the secondary. Let's go of it. A.J. Brown's able to get his arm up right away. He's not deferred from trying to get it, and the pass was high. Like, I'm sorry. He wasn't going to catch that. Should have been a no foul. Should have been 2nd and 2. Not the end of the world. Not complaining about the refereeing. Just pointing out that, hey, even on this play where he gets called for a flag, I think this is just really good coverage on a good receiver like A.J. Brown. All right, this play is going to be the sack by Poona Sack. This is Eagles are up 7-3, 3:47 in the first. You see Cam Kinchens come on a blitz. Makes Hurts step up in the pocket. Poona Sack gets the sack. This is important because this is going to a duo along with a sack later in the quarter that I'm going to point out to you. So, not a Quentin Lake play. This is one of those just overall defensive plays, even though I think it is good coverage by Lake in this one as well. You're going to notice Cam Kinchens at the safety spot. He's starting to creep up. He times his sprint on the blitz really well with the snap count. What I want to you to pay attention to, because this helps a different safety get home for a sack later, as he's creeping up. When the play develops, Saquon Barkley, he's going to point to the outside, communicating with his tackle or tight end here that, hey, you pick up that guy or I pick up that. They're communicating. I mentioned earlier in the week, if you can confuse Saquon Barkley to get the Hurts, you're going to have to do that because Saquon's a really good pass protector. So you're going to have to fool him in his communication with the tackle. Here we go. Times it up well. He points. You're able to pick it up. Still almost gets home, but Saquon's able to get enough of him. Jalen Hurts steps up. Poona Sack just beats his guy there. Let's take a look at the coverage real quick. Here's Lake. You've got condensed formation, crossing. He's there. Good communication. I like this. You always get worried about scramble drills, about, okay, hey, maybe someone's not where they're supposed to be. Quentin Lake's communicating here over the middle. Realizes, hey, my corner's got this guy down here. He can leverage more inside to help out with that. Trails him. So even if Jalen wasn't sacked on this, let's say he's scrambling outside here, Quentin Lake's in a good position to go ahead and cover, make sure there's not like a big pass on a broken play. But we'll come back to the safety blitz because they do hit it perfectly a little bit later in the game. All right, 1:17 on the clock. The Rams are now up 10-7. It's 1st and 10 for Philly. We're going to get a play action here. A.J. Brown's going to work over the middle, and our star, Quentin Lake, breaks up the pass. Let's break this down a little bit further. Quentin Lake's down, A.J. Brown's down here at the bottom of the screen for you. He's going to be running roughly a 10-yard in. Quentin Lake's back here at safety. What you're going to see is Quentin Lake break on the ball. Time up his punch perfectly. The second the ball meets A.J. Brown's hands, Quentin Lake is punching that thing out for an incompletion. Let's run it. The motion. Play action. Breaks. Woo! And you see Quentin Lake almost fall for the deep one. Man. Okay. I didn't really notice this first time, but it's fun watching this stuff kind of play out in real time. Let's see this. In real time, what am I talking about? So as A.J. Brown's coming across the middle, right? This concept is supposed to be, I believe, a cover 3 beater because you're going to have the opposite side wide receiver running a post. Trying to put one of these safeties in a bind to high-low them. Try to get them both to commit down to throw the post. Or maybe they both trail back, leaving the dig wide open. As this play develops, though, watch Quentin Lake trust his guys, and we'll slow down a little bit. When he starts seeing the breaks on the ball, he's going to take a step back. Sorry about playing around here. Let's see. Starts to take a step back. He's about to. Realizes Jalen Hurts is winding up here. In his peripheral, he sees what's going on with A.J. Brown coming across the middle. He knows he's got backside deep help. This guy's trailing with him. His job is to break on this. Just really good. Really good trust in the guys around you. That's a very strong play. Let's look at the end zone cam real quick. Boom. End zone cam. Skip ahead a little bit. Play action. Boom. Yeah, you can see this a lot better from the end zone cam. Lake's down here at the bottom for you guys. Watch him jump this. Slow it down right here. Gets that arm in. Textbook, man. Good play by Lake, man. That's how you make a Pro Bowl. All right, remember about 2 plays ago, I told you later in the game, the safety blitz is going to come back to haunt the Eagles, and boom, Tank with the big sack on Jalen. How did this happen? This looks very similar to what we just saw from Cam Kinchens, right? Tank McCullough's back here deep. He's going to start timing this down, so when the ball snaps, he's full sprint off that right tackle. The difference here, watch how Tank, right here, starts playing with the eyesight of Saquon. They saw something that they liked. I don't know if they knew Saquon is always his responsibility is always outside in, or just how his communication with the tackle is. He plays with that eyesight. As he's coming down, he's kind of trailing Jared Verse, getting in the way, and waiting for Saquon to commit. Saquon commits outside when he needs to be committing inside. So Tank fools him, leaving a clear path. Either Saquon didn't see him, or he miscommunicated with the tackle because no one picks up Tank, leading to a big sack there. Man, I feel like if it's any other quarterback besides Jalen Hurts, like a Jared Goff or someone, he's probably not coming back in the game. Completely untouched. Here we go again. Right here. Saquon's eyes are here. He doesn't even see Tank. No idea what happened there. Really good. On the backside, I think this is just really good coverage too. If we're going to focus on Lake one more time, trailing with the tight end, really good. Yeah, good coverage. Even if he doesn't get home there and Jalen scrambles, guys are in position. Quentin Lake trailing his tight end in the middle out of a bunch formation. Really nice. Strong defense, man. All right, this next play is a tackle by Lake. It is about a 1 yard gain for Saquon Barkley. This is the second quarter, 8:38. Rams are up 13-7. Second and 9, you get a swing pass to Saquon. Quentin Lake is there to meet him. Doesn't tackle him the first time. Now, you may say, like, oh, you try to stiff arm him. He didn't really make the tackle. What do you want him to do against Saquon Barkley? Exactly this. Stay in front of him. Wait for the troops to get there. If you can't, you don't want to lunge and risk a big stiff arm, getting juked, because Saquon is elite. No matter how much I'm riding high on Quentin Lake right now, it's a different caliber of athlete. He does his job extremely well here. What the hell are you talking about, Tuna? So Saquon Barkley is going to motion pre-snap to the flat. He's going to run a swing. Jalen Hurts is going to get it. Quentin Lake and the rest of the DBs communicate really well with the late motion. Quentin Lake is supposed to pick him up, and he does. So here we go. Motions out. Stays home. Doesn't just commit to it, leaving the backside wide receiver one-on-one with the Forbes. Takes away, stays in that gray area of being ready to make the tackle, but also able to help in coverage behind him. Drives on the ball. Realizes I'm not going to get there right when the ball's there. Breaks down. Stays in front of him. Even despite the little stiff arm he gives him there. Stays in front of him really well. Why? Hey, if I can hold him here for 2 seconds, I need my guys here. You need the gang tackle Saquon Barkley. That's the name of the game. Hold him here, stay in front. Even after that little stiff arm, just to regather your feet and turn back around, waiting for Cam Curl to get there for a small gain. How many times have we seen Saquon Barkley take something like this, make a defender look stupid, and then taking up the sideline for a first down, for 20 yards, for a touchdown? Little plays like this matter. It gets in the psyche of offensive players of like, hey, I don't care what you do. I'm going to be in front of you. You're not fucking going anywhere. That's a strong play by Quentin Lake. On the very next play, 3rd and 7, Quentin Lake ended this drive damn near on his own. You're going to get a pass up top. Quentin Lake is going to end up breaking it up. Deep pass. Should have had interception. He is yet to have his first career interception. So what did he do right here? Quentin Lake is in the slot. You're going to get a corner route up here. You're going to get somewhat of a flat route down here. I forgot what this guy's. I think this guy's just burning out deep. So the idea is to get Lake or the corner out of position. Lake's job is kind of like the hook curl zone. When you have the corner and the flat, you're putting him in a bind to choose. If he's going to just drop back, cool. Take the small flat, or vice versa. If he covers a flat, throw it over the backside for a big gain. What Quentin Lake does really well that I like, he kind of sits in that gray area, almost covering both. Good communication. Here he's in that gray area. Before Jalen Hurts is getting ready to throw here, Quentin Lake is in prime position, and I'll back it up just a little bit, about right here. He recognizes here, oh, I got a guy moving in the corner, knowing he's got this guy down here already. So as the play develops, now he breaks. But he was in a good position that if he decided to throw this flat, he was in a good spot to make a tackle before the sticks. But low enough to make Jalen Hurts think he can make this pass out here in this area to this guy and beat Quentin Lake to the punch. Quentin Lake drives. The second he sees the arm wind, gets in the way for a pass breakup. You literally cannot play it any better. This is teach tape on how to play the hook curl, or I hope it's his hook curl zone. I don't know if the jargon has changed, but that's a perfect way to play that on a cover 3 type of concept beater. That was really, really nice. Let's see if we can see that from the end zone. Actually, I haven't seen this play from the end zone. Skip ahead a little bit. Lines up. got to catch that, man. And then credit to the pass rush, too. Not giving him time to make a decision. Like, at this point, he has to just make a choice. Like, all right, F it. I'm just going to throw it. And it's almost picked. That was a key third down stop. Rams are up 13-7 at this point. So Quentin Lake's starting the game off strong. All right, here we go. The Eagles try to go against the grain here. Rams are getting a lot of penetration. This is 2:36 in the second quarter, 1st and 10. They're going to call a screen play to Saquon Barkley. Develops a little bit slowly. They show potential explosive play action along with the wheel route at the bottom. Quentin Lake communicates with it really well. Before I break down them covering the screen, which I was really impressed by, screens and quarterback draws and broken plays really fucked up this defense last season. This is impressive. A screen on a first down is not, I wouldn't say like super common, at least from a habit perspective on the offense. I don't think so. First, look at the motion. So you get a motion across the field here. This guy's going to end up running a wheel route. Right here you see Quentin Lake communicating. He was down at the line a second ago. Here he is, showing blitz. As the motion comes across, he gives a little hand signal to Kobe Durant down here, letting them know whatever their hand signal is, they do it appropriately. Off the snap, this guy's on the wheel route. Durant takes him. This guy running a love of the game route. It's covered by Quentin Lake. Taking away anything deep. Good communication here, and then good rally by the defense down below. And to highlight these guys down in the trenches, not biting on play action, not biting on the getting upfield too fast. They recognize the screen. Here we go. All flow that way. So think of the other plays and watch the other plays that we break down. How quickly this defensive front was getting penetration and getting upfield. Like, dude, they were living in the backfield, like back here all day, right? What do you mean to tell me on this one play, they don't get any depth? Like, I think this is smart all across the board. These guys will engage, and you're going to see them start sliding over. Engage and start sliding over. Engage, start sliding over. They recognize it's a blitz. Here you go. Engage, slide over. He sees what's happening. Get a little bit jersey tug there. Lamb convenes, and everyone just rallies. Look at the rallying up top. Boom, 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 boom. At the line of scrimmage. Impressive. That offseason work they did. I constitute pass game as part of the run game because it's an easy way to get your running back in open space with blockers in front. Allowing nothing there is really, really critical. Really impressive by this defense. All right. You knew I had to do it. We covered the earlier sack. Now we're going to cover the second half sack. This is right out the gates in third quarter. Jared Verse laying one of the biggest sacks you're going to see in the NFL this year. Here he is off the right side. It's been broken down a million times on Twitter already. Doesn't even see him. Being able to get a blindside hit off the right side of a quarterback is insane. This is twice now Jalen Hurts gets blown up from his right side. How does Jared Verse do it? I'm going to take some notes from Jim Youngblood, the Twitter handle on Twitter. He's really, really good at breaking down these guys in the trenches. What he sees, he saw a power to speed move. He's going to engage with the right tackle, making him think he's going to do his classic bull rush. And then right at the engage point, about right here, gets his hands underneath him. He's going to probably swipe his right arm and then rake across him. Woo! That is a very good move. This is the stuff that Jared Verse said he was working on in the offseason. To be able to see him do this against an elite offensive line is sick, man. You got to feel really good as a Rams fan seeing this guy do this. All right, let's slow it down a little bit. He's going to go power. Gets his hands off him. It's just messy all the time. Watching these guys do messy work is so fun. I'll zoom in a little bit for you. Jared's on the right side. Engages. Fights his hands off him. Pulls his arm across. The little baby swim move. Getting Oof. Ball's out. Rams ball. This is where they go up 26-7 the very next play. Just a brutal sack. I had to cover it. I had to do it. All right, and because we are not biased here, we're going to cover down some breakdowns in that coverage as well as the good plays. This is where the Eagles finally start to wake up on offense and take some shots downfield. This play is going to be the A.J. Brown up top, kind of like a little slant and go here. Stacks back on top of Kobe Durant. Kobe Durant, I mean, he's in decent, position. He doesn't bite too hard on the slant and go. He recovers really well. It's just A.J. Brown is just bigger than him. I think that's really what it comes down to. Here he is up top, slant. And Durant's there. The only issue is he can't work through him and get in better position to really bat the ball. Elite placement by Hurts. And you're not going to get that away from A.J. Brown. He's just bigger and stronger than Durant at that point. Really nothing he can do about that. But credit where credit's due. This is elite ball placement by Hurts. Where only A.J. Brown can get it. Brings it in with the one hand. There's no defense for a perfect pass. Really, really good play by them. This next play, though, kind of drives me insane. This is the touchdown strike to Dallas Goedert over the middle. Unfortunately, the Rams get caught in the wrong coverage. They get caught against the perfect cover 2 beater. Again, I'm not really an expert on coverages. I'm guessing based on what I'm seeing. What we see here, these linebackers, including this guy right here, boom and boom, they're all going to sit about here. They're sitting at mid-depth. You're going to get cover 2 out here. Durant's going to move to cover 2 as well. He's coming down to help. And then Quentin Lake is going to go to the flats. This is just a cover 2 beater. They call the right thing here. Yeah, just brutal, man. Nothing you can really do about that. Yeah, so you're going to get a vertical up top here to run him out. He's running down the seam. Quentin Lake actually gets got on this one too. So he's running to the flat to cover, right? Down here at the bottom, you get 2 verticals. Kobe Durant is looking this way. Lake's going to get his head around and thinking he's going to the flat, assuming normally you're going to get a high-low concept. But this guy actually runs free. That could have been a touchdown as well. Because by the time he turns around, there's no one looking at this guy back here. Quentin Lake, Jalen Hurts picks the right coverage. There's just an alley here because cover 2 splits normally, and Durant is just way out of position. Jalen Hurts makes the right read, drops it over these linebackers that are that's where they're supposed to be. They call the perfect play. That play was designed to have a cover 2 beater built in. They hit it perfectly. The only hope you have on that is you're hoping your 4 guys can get to the quarterback before he makes the throw. They hold up in coverage really well. That's the issue with stunts. Stunts take a little bit longer to develop. Stunts, remember, are any kind of twist at the line rather than just going straight up the field as a lineman. Are you switching gaps? Like instead of here going to A gap, this guy's going to move over to the opposite A gap. It takes a little bit longer to develop. And because of that, Jalen Hurts has more time. Yeah, is it on one specific person? No, that's on Shula for having made that call, and that's on Sirianni and his offense for calling the perfect play call against that defense. And sticking with the bad plays, this one's on Darius Williams up top. This is the touchdown to A.J. Brown, just one-on-one, not as physical. My initial reaction was, hey, that's clearly a push-off. That's on Williams. You can't try to sell it like that. Trying to sell it, you're not going to get the call. He should have just played through it. If he plays through it, he probably at least gets in the way of the ball and makes it look a little bit better. But A.J. Brown's just too strong there. The only positive I can say is I like how the Rams have been communicating, especially when it comes to like these trips and these condensed formations. Here you're going to have the tight end run a deep like corner route on the backside. He's going to be taken by the safety. And then you're going to get these 2 guys running underneath routes, which is good communication by Durant and Lake to not bite on anything behind them and make sure that these guys are all accounted for. Watch down here at the bottom. Good communication. Everyone's accounted for. Jalen Hurts just has an easy read, like, hey, this is all mucked up down here at the bottom. Let me just go to my big guy against a DB that we think that we can have a lot of success against. It's an easy touchdown. That is where I'm saying they have some work in progress because it's very matchup dependent. They're going to have to figure out a combination of DBs on certain wide receivers and man coverage that's going to work for them. Man coverage has been the weakness on the outsides. All right, let's get back to some positivity. Quentin Lake's going to get involved on a tackle here. Eagles are driving. It is 14 minutes in the fourth quarter, 26-21 Rams. You're going to get an outside run here by Saquon Barkley. Quentin Lake is going to be involved in getting like a shoestring tackle, stopping him for, was it no gain? Yeah, for no gain. Plays getting stretched out like this can really put DBs in a bind because you run the potential of having an offensive lineman match up onto the secondary, which is a nightmare for them to block. Here, someone's going to come and engage with Quentin Lake. He's going to work through that and keep his contained position. Look here at the bottom. All that trickery. Guy comes around. Quentin Lake beats him to the punch, pushes him out of the way, keeping that outside contain leverage. Keeping the outside. And what does outside leverage mean? Outside contain? It's exactly what it sounds like. Just contain him to inside of where you are. Why? Because you have defenders coming that way. You don't want to allow him to get out to the sideline. Quentin Lake's job is don't let him get to the sideline. Works through that, takes a beating by the pulling tackle, but he's able to keep his wits and get an arm out so that way he can help on that tackle. Let's take a look at that end zone cam. Yeah, any play that you're able to keep Saquon from getting any yards is really good. Motion, pulling tackle, gets a piece of Lake, is able to kind of swing his legs, stay involved in the play. You know, doesn't make like a textbook tackle, but because of his positioning, when he's getting hit right here, he's able to keep at least some sort of semblance of helping. Just getting your body in the way sometimes is all you can do on defense. And him being able to keep going outside is really, really good. Just another example of Quentin Lake just constantly putting himself in good position, especially in the run game. There you go, one of the next plays. Devonta Smith is going to be down here at the bottom. He's going to be running a quick out. He's going to pick up 6 yards on Quentin Lake. It's a good break. Slightly indecisive on his break right here. Here's Quentin Lake. He's not going to fall for any tricks. He breaks on the out. The issue is matchup dependent. Eagles got the matchup they wanted. Devonta Smith is faster. Comes back to the ball. Gets a sure tackle. Not a mind-blowing play or anything. But this is how Devonta Smith scored at the end of the game to win, and just, you know, not a shortcoming of Lake, but I mean, let's keep it real. He's not as fast as Devonta Smith. This is why people asking, hey, can he just play corner more? This is why. He doesn't have that top end twitch, that top end quickness to do that. He can be in good position, but he's more suited for like that safety run support, helping out in the middle for sure. All right, getting near the end of the game. Going to be wrapping up the Quentin Lake part here before we jump over to the red zone offense. This is why you want Quentin Lake in the slot as well, because of his run support, but then also you can pull blitzes like this out of the bag. This is the fourth down stop that the Rams get at the 12:24 mark in the fourth quarter. It's 4th and 7. Eagles are at the 50. Quentin Lake is up here at the slot. I believe that is, I don't know what receiver that is right now. The snap count gives away Quentin Lake's tail, unfortunately, because he's going to end up blitzing down here, forcing Jalen Hurts out of the pocket to make an errant throw down here for Cam Kinchens to almost get an interception and stop him on 4th down. Here we go. See that little? Do you see that little step? That little hard count Hurts gave. Oh, and then Quentin Lake steps. I don't know if he saw it though. Eventually, he sensed pressure. So here he comes on the blitz. And now he senses that he's stepping up. Quentin Lake, very much responsible for forcing Jalen Hurts to make a pass he doesn't want to at a critical point in the game. I believe, being biased because I'm a big Lake fan, but critical moment. Game feels like it's on the line. They've got momentum. You need a stop here because they just stopped doing fourth down. Cool. I'm going to dial up a blitz from almost depth, straight from the nickel spot. It's not like he's down here at the line showing blitz. You're trusting this guy to time it, get there as fast as possible. He gets home enough to force this guy out of the pocket. That's trusting your captain on defense to get there and try to make a play on the ball, which the defense does. Yeah, really good play there. I like the fact they're putting Quentin Lake in a position to try to end the game with the sack. All right, deeper into the fourth quarter, the Eagles got the ball back. 8:42, 1st and 10 for Philly. You're gonna get a little hook route by the tight end. Quentin Lake is going to do his thing and log, I believe, his 3rd pass breakup of the game. This one's interesting to me because I think Jalen Hurts could have had a bigger play, a wide open. Is that Devonta Smith? Yeah, Devonta Smith is in the slot here. Devonta Smith actually runs his own curl route right behind Quentin Lake. Hurts had time. He had a small pocket. If he just waited another second, he could have had an easy first down. Instead, he forces the issue. Quentin Lake recognizes before the ball is even thrown. You see him start maybe cock his arm back a little bit. Quentin Lake just drives on it, gets his hand in there last second. I want to see the end zone cam because I think you can see the punch out a little bit better. Just gets his hands on the ball. Obviously, the Omar Spates hit helps dislodge it a little bit. Here comes the pass. Quentin Lake comes from left side, rakes the ball away. Great little punch out. Very well timed. Really impressed with Quentin Lake's timing on a lot of these pass breakups. Like I said, he had 4 on the day. Phenomenal job. All right, this next one might be the most impressive one just from a timing perspective. He keeps outdoing himself. Here he is matched up on Devonta Smith in the slot. Here's Lake. Devonta's going to run an in route. Lake is going to trail, and he's going to get a pass breakup, same way he did on the last play. This is back-to-back plays. Twice in this game, he went back-to-back on pass breakups. Here's the in. Breaks on the ball with him. He gets his hands in there, and it's a good throw from Hurts despite the rush. Josiah Stewart does a really good job of beating his guard in the middle and getting up in Jalen Hurts' face. I don't know how Jalen Hurts delivers an accurate ball here, to be honest. The ball is low and away. You can see a little bit better on the end zone cam. So here we get some pressure. Look at Josiah Stewart. Josiah Stewart is looking like a young Jared Verse out there. You're going to get a twist here between Kobe's going to rush outside. Josiah Stewart's job, I think, is just to hit this guard and free up Kobe Turner. He comes in here, blindsides him, creates his own alley straight to Jalen Hurts, forcing Jalen Hurts to get rid of the ball maybe quicker than he wants to. But placement-wise, this is really good placement. We're going to slow it down. It's low, it's away, it's catchable, it's in his gut. But Quentin Lake, at that last second, gets his hands in the pocket, dislodging the ball. Quentin Lake, another drive, causing a first down to go to 2nd and 10, and then a 2nd and 10 to go to 3rd and 10. Now they're in a 3rd and 10 because of 2 consecutive plays by Quentin Lake, and this is crunch time. This is 8:37. The Eagles are down by 5. Yeah, I not a lot of safeties are out there playing this well in crunch time as Quentin Lake has played. So that is all I've got on the Quentin Lake side. What I'm seeing there, like I said, he finished with 4 pass breakups. Very elite. I don't know. I felt like it was more than just 4. He's got 5 on the season now. Really, really good stuff. He's so critical to the defense. His communication in the back end, as you saw in a lot of those plays, helped negate a lot of the deep passes. His ability to break on the ball is a lot better, even from last season, where I thought he was very good as well. If he keeps this up, he's able to keep elevating his game and break on a lot of these quick, short routes. He's going to end up getting some more interceptions, or some interceptions at all, and he helps in the run game. He can be an all-pro. I would like to see him do that. I think it's a little difficult in a stacked safety environment in the NFL, but yeah, just really like what I see. Let's jump over. Let's look at some of the red zone stuff. It's not a very, very long segment, and kind of see what I think went wrong. As we watch the approach into the end zone, I'm probably not going to stop this as much. I don't want to go into a full breakdown since we just covered Quentin Lake a bunch, but this is a nice run. I think just turns into, yeah, it's a nice little run for 3 yards. Whoa, camera work. Turning into 2nd and 7. This is one of those plays where, hey, you get 3 yards. It's nothing crazy. Point of attack is all bunched up by those defensive tackles for the Eagles. So next play is going to be a 2nd and 7 for the Rams. And this is where we start seeing a little bit more motion out of the run game. This turns into a 7-yard run for Kyren Williams. The Puka Nacua action. Great read. 7-yard run. This turns into a 1st down for them here. Let's look at the end zone. I think Kyren may have made the wrong read here. Could have had more yards if he broke it outside. Side. You can't see everything. Really hard to make a break when it's outside your peripheral. But I do like seeing more 12 personnel. Here we go again. You got the 2 tight ends. Let's see who blocks who. Duo, boom. This is well blocked. This is really well blocked. Center and guard are going to work 97 here. Try to get up to this linebacker. Havinson and Dotson are going to work this guy, and then Dotson's going to work to this linebacker, allowing Kyren to work up here for 7 yards. This is blocked extremely well. Right here, he hits this a little fast because he sees a little bit of daylight and wants to take what he can get. A little faster for what I expect from Kyren, man. It looks really good. This is Kyren, yeah. I get him and Corum look the same sometimes. I had to make sure I was not pointing out Corum. But yeah, there's even a cutback lane here off that right side. Let me mark it for you. Right. If he was a little bit slower, which is weird, we're asking him to be slower. There's a cutback lane right here. We probably picks up like an easy 10 plus. But you get 7. He fights for it, gets the 1st down. Show a lot of muscle. Next, very next play. Blake Corum is now in. 1st and 10. We're at the 23. Now we're getting into the red zone. You're going to get off tackle. Cut back by Corum. Looks super shifty all day, man. Really liked what I saw out of him. So here we go. One more time. Get the motion. Running off tackle. Natural cutback lane develops. Picks up 7. Look at the end zone. So the point of looking at this red zone stuff is I'm confused on why was it working all the way up into the red zone and then just seemed like you didn't really keep that momentum going if you're Sean McVay. It's really good blocking, man. Yeah, Blake Corum looks really nice too. Sorry, I kind of spaced out there and you guys. All right, next play. Very next play. Corum's going to run for 10 yards. His natural shiftiness is so smooth here. Get pulling guard. Pulling tight end. Very good. Just so good. All right, what the key to make this work here, Dotson, is going to be pulling. You're also going to get tight end. Going to lead up into the gap as well, picking up a linebacker, I believe. Boom. Yeah, he scrapes up the safety, it looks like. Letting Corum kind of bounce his way through there. So good. Yeah, everyone else's blocks are really nice. Boom. Really good. So, I mean, you got 3 or 4 straight run plays that are getting you all the way down inside there. What happens next? Here we go. 1st and goal from the 6. What do the Rams call? They call a pass play to Davante Adams on the left side. Why? Well, we saw last week what happens when you got this guy, 3-time All-Pro Davante Adams, one-on-one with a DB that you feel he can beat. Yeah, let's take a shot. Why not? I'm not mad at the play call. He likes the man. He motions across. Seeing this guy, Trell Jordan Whittington, kind of tells him, hey, this is probably man coverage. Gets the fake. Turns quickly. Just a high ball. Play call is not the problem here. Execution is. Matthew Stafford missed 3 or 4 passes, just sailed stuff high throughout the game, this being one of them. Davante Adams gets a good release, gets a slant. He's open. This is a touchdown right here. If this is just a normal Matthew Stafford pass, where he just delivers it low and away right here, Davante Adams is catching the ball at the 1. He's at worst, like he's at the goal line. He's out. It's a worst case. It's a replayed, like, oh, was his knee down as he's crossing the plane? This is Rams go up 17-7. I don't know why he sailed this. I'm really confused. I'm going to hope maybe the end zone cam shows a mechanic issue, which is weird to say from Matthew Stafford, but you know he likes to get a little loosey-goosey with his fadeaway throws, play action. He just sailed it. He wasn't even falling. I thought maybe Stafford was falling backwards, but he just sails it. One more time. Yeah, it gets around. Sees there's no blitz. Plants his foot. Follows through. And just sails it. I maybe he's worried about 58 down here. Maybe he was worried about throwing it too low and getting it tipped. But yeah, Davante Adams is that's a touchdown. You see where his momentum carried him in the end zone here? That follow through there would be the tackle. Davante Adams scores his second touchdown of the day. I'm really hoping that this is stuff that they are going to be able to clean up. Remember, Stafford missed a lot of training camp. Maybe he's still shaking off a little rust because he looked good in the first 2 weeks. Looked good majority of this game when it counted, but yeah, missed some stuff there. So that's the first play in this red zone. Let's see what they do on the next play. Looks like it's going to be a Kyren Williams run off the right tackle. Puka Nacua motion. Have you heard that before? Good fighting for yards, but, you know, running into a crowd, the defensive tackles here just kind of muck everything up. I won't spend too much time on this play for you guys. You're not going to win every play. You're not going to win every snap. On this play, the defensive lineman won. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, mucking up all this right here. All these linebackers flow. They're not fooled by anything. They commit to the run. There's just too many guys. Even then, Kyren's able to put his head down and get him at least to the 2-yard line to now have a chance to score. So here we go. 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. We actually get Kyren Williams punching it in strongly into the end zone, but you see the laundry on the field. There's a penalty on Coleman Shelton for holding. The reason I'm sighing is yeah, Coleman Shelton, the center. He's gonna put a block on 30 here. This is just terrible technique. I don't know why he's so low. Where the penalty is he tackles 30. He tackles him. Dude. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Either he couldn't get his arms up because he got Dotson pressing up against his right shoulder here. You know, we're focusing right here, by the way. Here's Shelton with his head down. He's got his arms draped around number 30's legs like he's going to go tackle him. I don't know, maybe he couldn't get his arms up because he got action on either side of him. But even then, like, just put your arms away and just drive with your body. That's now 2 mental errors by the Rams from within the 5 that you should have a touchdown. This should be 17-7, but instead holding. Now we're going to move back to where now you're out of range to run the ball. It's 3rd and 10 from the 10. What do they draw up? Stafford has a lot of time here. And then just miscommunication on where to throw it. If anything, props for stopping the 4-man rush. They had 6 to protect. Stafford had a lot of time here. And he just didn't get it to him. which is a shame. Who else was open down here? If he saw Kyren, maybe. Yeah, maybe if he saw Kyren, he's down here at the bottom. He releases late. And it sucks because you do have a matchup you kind of like. Higbee on a shorter DB. If Stafford realizes where Higbee, the momentum is carrying him, he should throw it out here at the pylon and just let it be a jump ball. All he sees is this guy's head is turned. I don't know, maybe he thinks he's going to stop, but Stafford puts it in the wrong place. Just a miscommunication. So there's three chances. 3 should be touchdowns. So if you want some positivity, you want something positive to take away from this first red zone trip, they had it. Like, it's not like they were stopped and like, oh, we just can't get in. They got in once. They should have got in on the Adams pass, and then a miscommunication on a potential jump ball, which is like, you know, at best a 50-50 ball. But just, that's a brutal way to go. Play calling was sound. Execution completely poor by the players. All right, here we go. We got a later drive. Second quarter, Rams are up 13-7, 5:47. This is them approaching the red zone. It's 2nd and 6. Guess how they get into the red zone? Just guess. Take a wild guess. A nice run. A very well-blocked run by the Rams, running off left tackle to Blake Corum. I want to see how they blocked us really well here. Getting a little alert call from Stafford. Whittington motion. This is really good. And then Corum's patient, bounces outside, flexes, gets the first down. I want you to watch how well this is timed up by Jordan Whittington. This is why he's getting more playing time than Tutu Atwell. Unfortunately, Tutu Atwell, I don't think he has the size right now to make these impact blocks like Whittington does. He's going to not motion across, but he's going to, motion across. He's going to make a very important block here on the edge. That is so good. It gets taken for granted. It's like, oh yeah, he just blocked. It's very difficult to do and not get a penalty on. Good chip by Higbee on this guy. So let's watch Whittington on this one. Gets in front of 33 here. I think it's Cooper DeJean. And just drives. Just drives him. Hands inside the shoulder pads. Very clean block. Very, very good. That is why Whittington gets playing time in these situations, man. All right, let's just flow through these plays here so we're not running this a 2-hour video. You're going to get a jet sweep to Whittington. We're inside the red zone now off this play. They were at the 22. Sticking with the ground. Come out in 12 personnel. Get him across. One thing that's interesting for me here is the fact that, look, the personnel on the field too. The Rams are not afraid to throw out. You got, this is Konate Mumfield. This is Jordan Whittington with 2 tight ends. I mean, if I'm the Eagles, I'm not really sure why I'm in 2 safeties. That's just my opinion. You're going to get the motion, the fly sweep. He's going to carry off left side for a nice run here of about 7 yards. Well blocked. Almost breaks free for a touchdown. But the Eagles are a really good defense. So, noticing a pattern, sticking with the run game, approaching, getting inside the red zone. We are now, that was a 6-yard gain on first down, so it's going to be 2nd and 4 on this very next play. So 2nd and 4. 4.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Run play stuffed. So now we're third and intermediate. But what happens on this one? Like I said, we're not going to go super thorough here. Coleman Shelton is turned around, which is not good. God, that dude is so strong. Moro Ojomo. This isn't even one of the top guys. 97 down here for the Eagles. These guys are fucking strong. I don't know if you saw what I saw, but he takes his left hand, just completely raises Coleman Shelton's shoulder pads almost above his head, spins him around. Here you go. Gets him out of the way. This is now dead. Play is dead right here. Your center is facing you. Imagine being Kyren Williams And as you're hitting the hole, you're making eye contact with your center who's supposed to be blocking for you. And then the rest of the guys just don't really hold their blocks. Eagles just play a really good run defense here. Yeah, and Jalen Carter. I'm not a fan of asking your tight end to make the main stock block on 98 down here. That's Jalen Carter. I'm not a fan of that. Yeah, this play is on the gap soundness from the Eagles. So now what do we do? We've got 3rd and 3. We're inside the red zone. This is a Davante Adams pass to the left side. Another one that sells. Good play call. He's open. Yeah, it's designed for Adams. It's there. I don't know if he was worried about the guy jumping the route. Yeah, that's just missed. This should be 2nd and goal from the 9-yard line. But because of execution, not play calling, unfortunately, the Rams are now kicking another field goal in this instance. Yeah, that is, it's tough, man. When I know people are mad at McVay, but that's 2 now red zone trips where he's called the right stuff. Either the Eagles just have good gap integrity, or guys are missing passes and dropping balls. That's brutal. The red zone trip that happens next is immediately after the Jared Verse strip sack. Sets up the Rams at the 10. Pretty easy. I love this little boot action on the fly sweep. This is set up all day by the constant motions, the constant jet sweeps that the Rams will play when they feel you're out leveraged. The difference here is they have a stop motion, so when they motion Puka, rather than just coming all the way across, they have him stop right here, right behind the tackle, as Matthew Stafford checks the defense, motions him more, realizes, all right, doesn't seem like we got a zone or a man, no one's traveling. Play action to him. This play is designed damn near a screen. And you know who helps set this play up? This is why Jordan Whittington gets more playing time than Tutu Atwell right now. Watch Whittington's route. You can't technically block downfield on this. You can engage if they're in your way, and you have that buffer zone. I think it's 5 yards where you can make contact like that without a foul. He damn near blocks 3 guys on his route. Watch this. 1, 2, 3. Jordan Whittington has 3 guys that he's blocking at the 5-yard line. He hits them enough so Zach Bond, can't get there in time. This is phenomenal. I've never seen that before. Look at this. There's enough time for Kyren Williams to race to the pylon. That is incredibly impressive. That's insane. One more time. So we like this. Very good. Very well done. Again, great play call. Go up 26-7. Got to keep the pedal on the metal to keep this lead, though. All right, here we go. 4th quarter, 9:33, 2nd and 9. This is the Rams' approach into the red zone. It is 26-21. The Rams have essentially lost all momentum. They start driving on this drive, however. So 2nd and 9. Let's see how they get into the red zone. It's going to be a short pass, an out to Puka Nacua. I wish he threw a ball like that to Davante Adams earlier. Probably would have had another touchdown. Puka's going to fight, get down, make this about 3rd and 2. Yep, 3rd and 2. So now we're in the red zone. We're at the 18. What do we draw up? We come out and gun. Rams have been stuffed on runs mostly in the second half. They didn't have the same success they were having in the first half. The defense for Philly was playing better. So here they go. Motion across. This is the pass that everyone's mad at. You take a shot. I mean, again, good execution. You've got your all-world one-on-one beater, one-on-one with a safety. Davante Adams one-on-one with the safety is Should be a touchdown every single day of the week. What happens down here at the bottom with these guys? I think we get like an in, and then we get an out from Tutu. Hey, look, Tutu Atwell sighting for you guys. Does Tutu Atwell get open? Kind of. Not really. Not really impressed with the route. I mean, you're on a, was that a linebacker on you? Yeah, linebacker on Tutu Atwell. And he doesn't go to him with the route concept. He runs like a rounded out. That's bad ball placement for me. So I'm going to be a stickler on Stafford just because I expect him to make every throw imaginable. Where this ball ends up, it's too close to the DB for my liking. This is too close to the body of the DB. He's got his arm in the mix there. I'll look at the end zone cam in a second to see if you can see it. But you're asking a difficult, you're making a difficult catch even harder because it's not outside and away more. That pass needs to be, let's see if I can stop it here. Yeah, that pass needs to be outside more, man. I'm not a fan of that placement by Stafford. Let's see the back end camera. Yeah, this is why. Because you're going to get a hand from a DB. The ball is about right here, right at his chest. Devontae Adams has range. That ball needs to be like right outside his head. Put that ball up here. That's well within the reach. That's outside of the arms of him. And that'd be an easy touchdown. It'd be the same motion. He'd be twirling, making a toe tap catch, but there's no arm in the way. Stafford's placement allows 32. Who is that? Reed Blankenship to make a good play on the ball. So that's on both. Adams, make the catch. Stafford, help your guy out with a better pass. And that ended up being the last time the Rams saw the red zone. The next time they got close was the 2-minute drill going down the field before the ultimate blocked field goal that lost the game. I pulled out some of my gray hairs in the process, but the whole point I wanted to look at that was to change the narrative. I'm always going to be a Sean McVay stan. Even bigger, I'm a Matthew Stafford stan, and I have to say, Matthew Stafford really lost the game in the red zone for the offense. They were down there. Take away that Coleman Shelton penalty, you still had a chance to Higbee. You got 2 missed passes to Adams. You got a bad placement to Adams near the end there. Stafford had a game where you could have had 3 or 4 touchdowns, and he didn't pull the trigger accurately like he should have. So I just want to change that narrative of McVay just doesn't know how to call plays in the red zone. This game, execution by the players. That's all I got for you guys. So we are going to do another film session later in the week. I'm already working on I want to highlight Joshua Karty. We will look at the PAT situation or the field goal operation there. I'm waiting on some feedback from somebody who has been in field goal operations to get his opinion on that. And we'll look at some other stuff just overall with the run game as well. So with that being said, drop a football in the comments if you guys made it to the end like we did last week. There were some of you out there, and I appreciate you. Also, drop some critiques, drop some feedback to help us make this better. Who do you want to see? What do you want us to focus on in our next film session? I hope you guys learn a little bit. I hope you enjoy this. And as always, go Rams.